Alright, and welcome to another Let's Play Wargame European Escalation multiplayer. I'm on a map I've only played once, I don't really remember it, I think it's Mecklenburg. And as always, I am playing the Warsaw Pact, and my opponent is named appropriately Business Hulk. a capitalist stooge, no doubt. Alright, so on this map, it's interesting because you have three reinforcement areas on each player's side of the map, and you have some high point zones, Delta and Foxtrot, across from some not so high point zones, but they do have buildings, which might be a pretty good place to stick some infantry. So you can see Foxtrot isn't really that defendable, except for this nice forest there and these hedgerows. But this is a pretty wide open map. There's a lot of plains here. It's a good tank map. It's a good ATGM map. And that's sort of the philosophy that I approach this game with. Oh, I do my normal routine of swapping out my regular command for command armor. And let's just speed this up a little bit. Plunk in all these units. Yeah, da-da-da-da. You can see my opponent's loading up on some chaparrals. He's got, I don't know if that's armored command or not. Got a recon unit. He's got some artillery. He's got a lot of artillery. He's got 6 awfuls. Nice. And I have some transport copters with special forces, and I'm going for sort of an interesting strategy here. What I want to do right off the bat is try and secure Bravo, because if I can get Bravo, I can bring in units on his side of the map, which is something that I really want to be able to do. And we'll just speed this up for a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. So, now what I want to do is eventually secure at least one of these zones. So I'm dropping special forces into both the town and Gulf and the forest and Foxtrot. 2 units of VPZUs, and I'm also going with Tunguskas for anti-air, and I'm taking the advice of many good players who have commented on my replays so far, and I'm spreading them out. So my goal here is to get special forces with Recon over here, load up some tanks up in this field, and put some air defense sort of in this spot between these 2 points, so I can theoretically shift my forces wherever I need to and to respond quickly. Got Recon helicopter here and Recon helicopter here, and I'm about to set up shop, putting command armor in this forest. I brought a Strum with me, along with 2 Tunguskas and some infantry. I think that's just like regular run-of-the-mill infantry, but I like the BMPs they come in, and some anti-tank infantry. Just gonna sort of load this forest up, put the AA over here, and wait for the points to roll in, albeit slowly, because I only have 3 coming in per tick, as you can see. So then I will theoretically buy another command armor to stick into Foxtrot, and then the points will start rolling in. You'll notice I did splurge on some T-80s. I love T-80s. The base model is only 90 points, so in a 2,000 point game, which this is, and we're playing to 2,000 points, I figured I could find the points somewhere. Alright, so he's kind of gone patent crazy here. He's got 6 patents, 2 chaparrals, and to his credit, he is bringing anti-air with him, which is something I have to do compulsively because I'm terrified of aircraft. He's bringing 4 more patents, some supply trucks, Recon way the hell back here, and he's loading up on Gazelles. He has, 8 cannon Gazelles. And he sent a command vehicle down here all by its lonesome, which is not that good an idea. If I'd been hunting for him, I could have theoretically popped it out real quickly, but he does have all these cannon Gazelles, so we might have been able to come to its rescue. But generally I'm pretty nervous about sending command out all by its lonesome. Now, I don't know what he's got here. I just know that Charlie got capped by him, so I'm sending my one of my Mi-2s over to just hover on this over this lake. And I see a little bit of movement up here. I catch it with my other Recon helicopter, and I begin shifting my tanks, my T-80s, my BMPs, and one of my Tunguskas over, because I'm pretty confident if there's going to be an attack, it's going to come from this direction. Now, I get a bit of a view on his position over here. I catch all his gazelles right there, but he could have probably popped them without me noticing if he'd been a little faster, but I mean, there's so much to juggle in this game, I didn't even notice them. But he probably didn't even notice my Recon for a little while. So we both kind of screwed up there. And he's bringing a Recon out here to take a closer look. I probably would have kept... Well, he has 2 Recon vehicles. I don't like to have more than 1 Recon at a time in a group. I usually split them up, just because it seems kind of like a waste to have 2 of them clumped together since they're both looking at the same thing. And they're popped now. So I'm feeling pretty good about my position here with my tanks. Now, all 8 of his gazelles have seen my Mi-2, and what I'm trying to do is lure them over Bravo, where I have 2 Tunguskas here, and I'm hoping that he will follow me. I think my Mi-2 is a little bit faster than those cannon gazelles. I could be wrong, but I mean they're keeping up a pretty good pace. I was really hoping he wouldn't turn around, and he didn't. So my Tunguskas open up, and wow. It looked like they only got 2 shots off, but yet all 8 of those helicopters are dead. And that is really cool. Maybe they were firing their guns in addition to their missiles, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, that ended up poorly for him there. Yeah, generally you don't want to fly over an enemy's captured zone unless you really are confident you know what's in there. But I have lost many Mi-28 Havocs, which are a lot more expensive than those cannon gazelles to the Bloodlust. I'm also terrified of running out of supplies, so I make sure I have a couple of Koloses up there. I know he's around those woods. I don't know exactly where, but I feel confident in my tank advantage with the T-80s, so I'm not going to push. I'm not going to go out. If he wants to come in, I'll respond. But I don't mind that he's camping in that forest right now. I kind of forget that I have these 2 Danas here. Otherwise, I probably would have opened up, but I didn't. What are you going to do? Let's just zip this along a little bit. We're playing for 25 minutes. Okay. And he starts shelling me, and I start shelling him. He has 6 artillery pieces. I only have 2, but you know I want to make him nervous. And now he's doing this big push with Pattons and Chaparrals and all that. Coming down this road, he knocks out, I don't know what that was, but wasn't too expensive. And my VPZUs, hidden in this building, just open up on his Pattons and his Kurtz. And they do a pretty good job. And my T-80s open up on his Chaparrals, and they took a few pot shots at his Pattons that drove by. And I capture his Jupiter as well, which heals up my VPZUs pretty nicely. He brings the Pattons out. I don't know if he can see my T-80s, if he knows what's shooting at him, but yeah, T-80s against Pattons. It's tough. My VPZUs take a few pot shots. My BMPs return fire with some ATGMs. And I feel like I got a pretty good line of defense here. Between it would have been nice if I could stack the unit inside this farm, but you know I'll take it. How the Patton's doing? Ross is worried. Welsh and Jackson are panicked. Oof, ATGMs to the rescue. I've lost 2 T-80s. Maybe it was due to missiles, I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, that hurt. But I'm still doing okay in points. 625 to 255. So far, I'll take it. Now this Patton starts hiding here, and I start shelling the woods. A little too late, though. And this Jupiter kind of got away from him. But it's almost out of supplies anyway. It's not much of a prize. So this Patton's hiding out here. I don't feel like sending out my special forces to dislodge it, especially because, you know, you hit infantry with a couple of HE shells and you can just shred them. We've got 4 more Pattons up here. And it looks like that's about it on this side. Alright, I've also called in 2 Mi-24Ds just for defense. One of the things I've started doing with helicopters now is apparently, and I did not know this, military buff that I am, I did not know that helicopters were initially meant to be a defensive unit, but it's true. And when I get in trouble, it's when I use them as offensive units. I almost always lose them. When I get the Bloodlust, I send a Havoc in, and it just does not end well. So lately I've tried changing my tactics with them and using helicopters purely for defense, just having them wait for the enemy to expose themselves, to overextend themselves, and then just pounce. So that's what I got these 2 helicopters for. Thinking about moving up, but then I realize my T-80s probably have the job well at hand, and then I swing them around. I want to dislodge this Patton, but I actually have a pretty hard time with it because that bastard is hiding right in this little alleyway, and you know, it offers surprisingly good defense. I bring my helicopter, I tell them to kill it, but they fly right over it. They give the Patton a firing solution for a second, then they clip through that silo because the Soviets have super clipping technology that lets them fly through solid rock. Send them back around, try and take this dude out, but they're just sitting there. They can't get a firing solution. I should have just pulled it back, and now the Patton starts shooting at him. This pisses me off. And you know, this guy's on fire. Poor Billow is panicked, as well he should be. And so now I send them back. Although I think they finally popped them. They did, but not without a price. Gotta send those guys back. Now, one thing I do, which is pretty silly, is you'll notice for a while I leave this Jupiter just like sitting here, uncaptured. You know, I'm not interested in it. It's just a Jupiter. It's an unarmored supply vehicle. It's almost completely out of supplies, but I let it be, and as a result, I let him essentially have a spy right here on this stupid farm. I eventually take care of it, but that's something to be aware of. Don't just let supply trucks hang out and look at your units. Alright, so I want to bring in a few more Recon here just so I can get better eyes on this situation, because I'm worried that I'm down 2 T-80s. I'm sending in a Kolos here to try and patch them up and rearm them and everything, but I'm worried that if he does a second push, I might not be able to repel it as easily as I did this one. Now, he's also loaded up on starships. He's got a bunch there, and he's forming a second army. And I'm going to speed up. Okay. Now, one thing that was amusing was I caught sight of his command vehicle right there, just because I had this Mi-2 sort of chilling above this forest waiting. And I wish I had my rapid response death squad a little bit closer. I brought my Mi-24s back to patch up, and now I see that and I want it. I want to kill that unarmored command vehicle. I don't know what he was trying to do, maybe slip it into Juliet, but that's bad. Don't do that. Do not send a 200 point plus command vehicle down to completely unescorted into enemy territory. So now I've woken up the Hinds, I'm sending them in. He realizes his mistake here, and once he spots my scout, he doesn't want any part of that. So he starts trying to book it back, and I try and catch up to it. My scout units and my extra Kolos are coming in to shore up the line. So this poor little bastard is running with those hinds, trying to catch up to him. What's this guy's name? Copeland. Copeland is flooring it. He's like, what the hell are they doing, sending me out here with no support, no tanks, no anti-air, nothing. This is crazy. So he defies his orders, spins around, and floors it back for home. And up on the horizon, those Mi-24s are coming closer, closer, closer. I would have brought the Mi-2 up as well, but it's low on fuel, and I didn't want to leave it just hanging out here. He's coming. He's coming. Oh, God. Will he make it? Faster, faster through the scorched fields. They nose up and open fire. Oh, and he tears off and makes it back. And I think about following him in, but I decide that flying over there is probably a bad idea. And it's a good thing I didn't too, because I see now he's got 2 chaparrals there. I wouldn't have seen them. I didn't see them. And so I wisely, if with a sad and heavy heart, decide to peel off my attack. Which, you know, 3 or 4 videos ago I might not have done. I probably would have rushed him right in, but we play more, we lose, and we improve. Okay, so now I think about stacking up a small force here to try and push into Charlie, because I want to be more proactive. I'm trying to learn the attack. I'm trying to not just get my units where I want them to be, secure positions, and wait to run out the clock. I'm trying to be able to go on the offense and also drink coffee. Hang on a second. Oh, I love my coffee. So I want to push into Charlie, and it's kind of a good thing that I start building this force, because he's sending the starship crew down here along with his chaparrals, and he's bringing in more gazelles, more starships. He's got plenty. He's got a nice armored force here, and I catch wind of it with my PT-85, and this game really taught me the value of Recon. I mean, I knew from almost when I started playing this game that Recon is good, but Recon has saved my ass a lot in this game. Showed me what he had over here. I caught those Gazelle cannons, all 8 of them. I was able to destroy them because of that. I caught his command truck in his first push over here, and I was able to repel it because I had time to move my forces up. And now my Recon caught sight of this whole mess that's coming down. So I take my dudes out of their APCs, my Motostrelki, and they start trying to put up a bit of a defense here, although they're not that great. But they delay him a little bit. My Recon's still here, and seeing that he's just got starships and not much else, I decide to bring in some expensive hardware, hoping that they can hold him back a little bit. Now he's holding fast in the woods here. I'm moving my Tunguska and my Kolos that were going to be originally part of my battle group back, and I decided to drop the however much it is, 150 points, give or take, on a T-80U. I figured that'll at least hold him at bay a little bit, especially because I didn't see any more gazelles. So I didn't know if he had any or not. Turns out he does, but they're chilling back there. My Recon gets popped, unfortunately, and now I'm trying to shift the lines over here in case he pushes through. Bring the T-80U up, and the fire starts. It's just 1 tank, but it's a hell of a tank. Pop, 1 starship, dead. They stop, they turn, they pivot to face, and they launch ATGMs, which will screw me up if I'm not careful. Fortunately, they're not that accurate with them, but you know, I took 2 points of damage there. This guy, I'm confident, though, he can still make them, if nothing else, spend most of their ATGMs and probably pop a bunch while at the same time. Oh, 2 more. And now I start calling in some artillery. Because I've stopped them. I know they're coming in. He extended his chaparrals there, probably a mistake, but those were the last things I cared about right now. I just wanted to stop this starship invasion. And those missiles are coming right down at my guy. They all miss, thankfully. Oh, nice. Clip those chaparrals with the artillery. And one of them hits. My guys can still take 1 or 2 more ATGMs, at least from the starships. But he's going to need some help pretty soon. Ooh, armored recon dies. That's alright. That's alright. You can see that one T-80U was able to hold back a starship invasion here. Whew, yeah. Yeah. I'm lucky that he missed with most of those, though. He only hit with like maybe 3 out of however many were fired. I see he's got gazelles. Fortunately, I moved my Tunguska back and start opening up. One's down. Reload, 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 you bastard. Oh no. T-80U is finally routing. What's he got? Yeah. The helicopters definitely spooked him. Tunguska dies. Pull in another one just in the nick of time in case he's got more. And the artillery continues to rain down. Now he pulls his gazelles back. Oh my guys, what happens if they go off the map? Oh man, that's pretty funny. I never knew that could happen. That poor bastard, he's just sort of chilling, looking up at the sky. Oh my, that is great. That is great. Poor Cossack. Oh, Cossack's back. I bring in a buck as well because I'm addicted to these things, and they can shoot for 4 kilometers if they can see something, which is awesome. And I also bring in a Kolos because I know that buck is going to need to be rearmed because it only carries 4 missiles, but they're really good missiles, and they usually hit. And when they do hit, they kill everything. Of course, that one missed, but you know that's okay. That's why the Kolos is here. He starts pulling his gazelles back, except for that one. Pop, pop. Another attack repulsed. Now, again, it also goes to show not only is recon incredible in this game, but attacking is hard. I mean, those engagements that I won on defense. I mean, I saw he was coming. I had enough time because of my recon to reposition my units where I wanted them to be, or in this case, buy additional units like this T-80U. Good old Cossack. He's getting the MVP award here. And I was able to stop him. Now, I suppose if I was going to go on the attack, which you would have seen here if he hadn't pushed down, I would have definitely included a recon unit, a lot of infantry, and maybe definitely some anti-air, Tunguska or 2, and maybe a few tanks. And I would have tried to sort of weave my way through here and just roll over. But if you're attacking anywhere, you gotta lead with a recon. You got to, because if you know what you're going up against and you spot them before they spot you, then you can adjust your attack to make it be really effective. But God help you if you can't. You don't want to fly blind into an engagement when you're on the offense. Or you're just begging to get creamed. So this was a fun game. I think I played pretty well here. Granted, the person I was up against was probably less experienced than me, but I liked seizing the middle area early with special forces. I thought this was kind of a bold move that might have backfired on me, taking Bravo, but it turned out to be alright, and I was able to get enough points quickly enough so I could get Foxtrot to make up for any point deficit, and it was a fun game. Man, I really like this game. I really do. So I pulled off a total victory. Didn't get 2,000 points. The clock ran down, but there was some good action in this game, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, please rate, comment, subscribe, talk to me, comment, tell me what I'm doing wrong, tell me what I'm doing right, tell me what you'd like to see. And until next time, I'm Digital Adhesive, and thank you very much for watching. Take care.